Hello students. So in the next topic we will study about movement of a cell. Now we all know that animals, they can move from one place to another place. In animal, movement is possible due to contraction of their muscles. So muscles are present in case of animals. Then what about plants? In plants, the movement, it depends on wind and water current. Next, if we talk about single cell, either prokaryotes or eukaryotes, they move by hair-like appendages called as cilia and flagella. Or they can also move by amoeboid movement. So we will discuss about all this movement one by one in today's topic. So the first type of movement, that is amoeboid movement. A crawling like movement, it occurs in this case. Here the cell, it forms temporary cytoplasmic projections that are called as pseudopodia. So pseudopodia, these are the false foot. The cell, it forms temporary projections of cytoplasm or the false foot, that is called as pseudopodia. So pseudo means false and podia means foot. That is why we called it pseudopodia. These are false foot. And these are temporary projections. They are not permanent. Wherever in which direction the cell will move, pseudopodia will form in that direction. So as the cell moves, new pseudopodia are formed in the direction of the movement, while the earlier ones, the earlier pseudopodia, these are then withdrawn. And this type of movement is observed in case of amoeba. We all know this amoeba, this is a unicellular organism. Then in some protozoa, then you can say another example is slime mold, which is the fungi, and in human being also you can see this type of movement in white blood cells, in WBCs. They also show amoeboid movement, irregular. They don't have any definite shape. So here you need to remember about pseudopodia, that is the false feet. Then the organisms where it is shown, such as amoeba, and in some protozoa, slime molds, that is a fungi, and in human WBC. Next we have another type of movement by cilia and flagella. So this is a flagella, this single one, and this small hair-like structure, this is cilia. So cilia and flagella, these are hair-like or thread-like motile structure. Motile means they are able to move and they help in movement. So cilia and flagella, these are hair-like or thread-like motile structure which can move and they help in movement of a cell. These are present extracellularly, that is outside the cell. So here you can see they are present extracellularly. Here also outside the cell they are present. But they originate from intracellularly, from the basal body. But the origin will be from inside. They are attached to the basal body. Here also. Cilia and flagella, although they are quite similar, but slight difference is there in these two. So you need to remember that difference. Cilia, they are very small hair-like structures, and the cilia, they are present on the surface of the cell in much greater number. So the first difference will be the size of cilia is much more smaller compared to flagella, and cilia, they are present in large number. You can see here many small hair-like structures. But compared to flagella, they are present in large number, they are present in more quantity. Then if I talk about flagella, they are longer than the cilia. You can see the size here. They are longer than the cilia, and they are also hair-like structure only. And flagella, this is present, either a cell carries one or few flagella. Either a cell will carry a single flagella, or you can say few flagella. But in case of cilia, there are many cilia present on the surface. And the next difference will be in case of their movement. You can see here, this is a flagella and this is a cilia. So cilia, they rose like oars. They move like oars, back and forth beating. And here in case of flagella, they propagate like a wave. Can you see here? They propagate like a wave. So this is the difference between cilia and flagella. First, that is cilia, they are more in quantity, they are large in numbers than flagella. It can be one or few in a cell. Next, cilia are smaller in size, and flagella, they are longer than the cilia. And if I talk about the movement, they move in a back and forth beating, or you can say they move like oars. Then if I talk about flagella, they move in they propagate like a wave. So these are the differences between cilia and flagella. And if I talk about the flagella of a bacteria, even they are also different from the other organisms flagella. So the flagella of a bacteria, they are quite different from others. They will be the flagella that are present on bacteria, they are thinner, short, and they are rigid. The flagella of bacteria are thinner, shorter, and relatively rigid. Now, if I talk about the function of cilia and flagella, they are used for locomotion, or you can say they are used for movement in many protozoa. For example, cilia is present in Paramecium. So this is a Paramecium, students. Cilia is present in Paramecium, and they help in their locomotion. And flagella, they are present in Euglena. So this is an Euglena. This is another type of protozoan, and flagella is present on their surface for movement. In mammals, if I talk about mammals, in mammals, ciliated epithelium helps in transportation of materials on the internal surface. For example, moving the mucus on the respiratory tract. So cilia are present there in the respiratory tract in mammals, in case of us also, and they help in movement of the mucus. And this cilia lining the cells of the respiratory tract, they will trap the particulate matter and they will move towards the nostril. So they are also present in the lining of the cells of respiratory tract, and they used to trap the particulate matter and it will then move it towards the nostril. Next, if I talk about flagella, it is present in the sperm of many animals. I am talking about lower animals. So flagella is present on them in the sperm of animals.